Steeler Nation, it's Commanders week. It's Steelers versus Commanders coming up this Sunday, 1 p.m. And for me, it's my 5 a.m. on Monday morning. We had a good bye. It would have been better with the Ravens or the Bengals losing in terms of the AFC North standings and a bit more gap in that situation. But we're going to face this gauntlet very soon and shortly with the Commanders, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, and so on and so forth. But I do want to have a little bit of time to talk about Mike Tomlin. I know some people don't like Mike Tomlin, and maybe about 15%, 20% of the fan base still thinks he's an awful coach, he's a cheerleader, he's not living up to the standard, is a standard. Mike Tomlin is doing a bad job, from X, Y, and Z. But I think all that is false. I push all that aside. Yes, we haven't won a playoff game in 7 years. Many teams haven't won a playoff game. The Miami Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since the 2000s, right? The Browns are a disappointment franchise with all their movings and getting quarterbacks and Watson and he sucks and paying all the money. The Jaguars are a dumpster fire right now. The Carolina Panthers, the Saints just fired their head coach. We've got it pretty good with Mike Tomlin. He gives it the Steelers the best chance to win. He's 3 games away from being above 500. And I know people want more than that. I want more than that. Being a fan of the Steelers, I definitely want more to go and hoist Lombardi, or me not personally, but our team to hoist it, and for the city of Pittsburgh to once again, cherish that success and see our fellas would be more than happier to see Najee, Warren, and the fellas on the offensive line, Patterson, whoever, the Pickens, Cameron Hayward to get a Lombardi, or TJ Watt to have some success in the playoffs, right? And for all too, Mike Tomlin to have some success as a coach. He's been the coach of the Steelers, for 17, 18 years. He's got 3 or 4 more years on his contract. This year, right now, I think he deserves to be in discussion, at least discussion around Coach of the Year. The KC Chiefs just won their game yesterday or today as I'm recording, talking about KC beating Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, in my opinion, should have went for 2 points. Go for 2 points, make them 7-1. If the KC Chiefs fall over and Mahomes has 1 or 2 games mishap and the Bills have 1 or 2 games where they get beat by, the Jets, that's going to be very tough. Someone go and beat the Bills. Someone go and beat the Chiefs so we can knock them down a peg. So it gives us a better clear run, not only towards the wild card, but towards winning the AFC North and having control of the number 1 overall seed for our Steelers. And why I say this is because Mike Tomlin should be deserving, and he should be in the discussion talking about Coach of the Year. Mike Tomlin has never won it. A few times ago, I think John Harbaugh won Coach of the Year, or was it the Bengals guy? It was one of them. It was the Bengals coach or the Ravens coach, but there's been the Browns coach won it last year, and Stefanski. You could have given the Coach of the Year to D'Amico Ryans and the Texans. They're now falling apart too by getting beat by the Jets. But he was in consideration last year. The other bloke there, Dan Campbell, should have maybe had a chance to win Coach of the Year too last year with the Lions. And he's also in high consideration too for this year. So I see it right now. Andy Reid and Mahomes, they are just sneaking through games. And the refs, I think, are helping them out in certain bits. But Andy Reid is up there definitely to be Coach of the Year. Dan Campbell to be what he's done with his crew to bounce back from that NFC championship loss to the 49ers. He's bouncing back and getting his Lions prepared in the NFC to be the best team in the NFC to go on a Super Bowl run, to get there and go win a championship for Detroit. And they've never been there, and they've never won a championship. So he's in big consideration to be Coach of the Year. So Mike Tomlin definitely has 3 or 4 coaches around him who he's got to go fight and punch with. And not physically, or not actually punch with, but he's got to go toe-to-toe with to claim that Coach of the Year status. Here's one advantage, though, how Mike Tomlin can do that. Mike Tomlin has this gauntlet we talk about. I've been talking about this gauntlet for weeks. It's the Commanders, it's the Ravens, it's the Browns, we face 4 AFC North teams in a row. Then we verse Philadelphia away in Philadelphia. Then we verse the KC Chiefs coming into Heinz Field on Christmas Day. Then we verse the Bengals to end. It's the gauntlet, plus the Ravens in the mix too. 3 hard games. There's over 9 hard games in this next stretch, right? But I keep saying they have to play us too. Don't forget about that. And when Mike Tomlin goes on this record, and if he does get this team ready to win 6 games out of 9 or 7 games out of 9 and goes 7-2 in the next 9 games, he should be in high consideration because the NFL media is putting so much pressure on him and the Steelers. Oh, they're just going to fall away. They're going to fail. They're going to have the easy first half of the schedule in the first 8 games. Oh, the Jets were easy. The Giants were easy. The Denver Broncos, they were a shoe-in. But at the time when they were talking about it, the Jets was a high team. The Broncos was a high team as well until we beat them. Then it's, we only verse this team. We only verse the Jets. It's always the case. When the Steelers go and knock off and play competitive football and defensive football against Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are a crazy rookie favorite team, slinging the ball around, scoring 35 points a game. Once the Steelers beat them, it's only the Commanders. You only beat the Commanders. It always happens. But Mike Tomlin should be in high consideration to be coach of the year. And there's another point why. Another point why was the choice, the decision to move from quarterback number 2, who was playing quarterback number 1. Justin Fields got the Steelers to a 4-2 record, along with a good run game, good defense, and overall he was rushing for TDs, getting the job done. Mike Tomlin said, "You know what? I'm not totally happy with that. That's good, but it's not great." The NFL media went nuts. They went crazy. You can't move on from Justin Fields. He's winning you football games. Why would you move on to a washed-up Russell Wilson? That's not going to happen. The moment he did, though, he went out and smoked the Jets and proved that Russell Wilson was a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers and a better quarterback than some quarterbacks in this league. Smoked the Jets. Then the media started to turn around a bit. But hang on a minute. Maybe that was the right choice. Trust in Mike Tomlin. Trust in Mike Khan. Maybe that was the right choice. In fact, that he took this team to go 4-2 with a backup quarterback who was new to the system, new to the Steelers, and so is Russell Wilson too. Right, 4-2, made the switch, got the Steelers then yet to a 6-2 record before the bye in the easier part of the schedule, which most are saying it's the easier part of the schedule. Now the Commanders coming up. If they go on a run to win 6 games, 7 games, or something similar, and have a chance to win the AFC North and take care and maybe sweep the Ravens, sweep the Bengals, maybe go 1-on-1 with the Browns, something similar, go 5-1. Mike Tomlin should definitely be up there in terms of coach of the year. It all depends, though, what the voters think. Will the voters go towards the, so far undefeated Chiefs with Andy Reid? And yes, he's a good and great coach as well. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a good coach. They're a solid team. And the Lions, too. Dan Campbell has those guys running through the wall. But Mike Tomlin does as well. Mike Tomlin has his fellas, TJ Watt, Highsmith, these guys running through a brick wall to get the job done. All I'm saying is that Mike Tomlin deserves some consideration. He deserves some respect. He deserves some credit when credit is due. In that fact, he got this team 6-2. If you think at the start of the year, some Steelers fans thought this is not the best team. We don't have a quarterback. We haven't seen what Russell Wilson can do. We don't know about this receiver 2 situation. We're not too sure about the offensive line. Dan Moore, he's a bit scratchy, but Dan Moore's been one of the best players on the offensive line so far. Isaac Siamala got injured. There are question marks all over the team. And Mike Tomlin consistently gets his team ready. This whole never not had a losing season, people laugh at that. But think about that as an owner. If you're the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're the Rooneys, you're thinking, this coach down there, this coach on the field, he never loses. He always gives my team a chance to win. Always has the fellas ready to play on game day. And people say, well, sometimes he plays down to competition. Football happens. And I would say with a rebuttal to that claim, I would say maybe other teams are playing up. Maybe they see how well coached the Steelers are and how well coached the offense and the defense is. Maybe other teams play up. The New York Giants, for example, they played up. They ran the ball so effectively. They played great defense, chasing down Russell Wilson for 4 sacks. They're getting a lot of pressure, but we still won the game. Maybe other teams just play up to the Steelers level. Maybe that Mike Tomlin doesn't play down, right? So now in some places you could say he wasn't ready, the team not ready, this, and this. It happens. It's football. But you still get the job done. You still get the victory. And Mike Tomlin is now 6-2 with the gauntlet to face that he's going to do in terms of the media's eyes. If they say it's a really hard schedule, then he deserves the credit coming back. If you go and beat the Commanders, go and beat the Ravens, go and beat the Browns, Bengals, Browns, or maybe you go 1-1 or something similar. And that's in the next 4 or 5 games, you go 5-1 or 4-1. Then Tomlin deserves the respect because he'd be 10-3 with a real charge in the division. All I'm saying is that he deserves some respect and he deserves consideration and some overall talk around him being coach of the year, right? Can we not give him that? Can we not give him that overall, benefit of the doubt to say, hey, Tomlin, you're doing a great job. You're doing awesome. There's still, yes, playoff games to be won. There's still a chance we want to have another Super Bowl in the next 3 years. But right now is the time. Right now is the time for our Steelers to play physical, to hit them hard, to go and take care of business with the Commanders. And I think that Coach Tomlin is around that 3 or 4 or 5 coaches this year, top 5 coaches that are in consideration for Coach of the Year. And I'm just saying, to me, he deserves a chance. If he goes on this run and versus all these teams in a row and gets them within a heartbeat of the number 1 seed, or he's at the number 2 seed, and over the next few weeks too, or next few, maybe weekly or so, I'll check in with the playoff record and see who's where and see who needs to beat what. And right now, it's the Chiefs. Let me double check. It's the Chiefs, Bills. Chiefs 8-0, Bills 7-2, first in the AFC East. Steelers 6-2 in the first AFC North. Texans 6-3, first in the AFC South. And the wild card is Ravens 6-3, Chargers 5-3, and the Broncos 5-4. So over the next few weeks, I'll be keeping an eye on that too in the playoff scenarios. But for now, I just want to say that Mike Tomlin definitely deserves some credibility and some discussion, at least some discussion. I know in the comments you'll see, Tomlin sucks, he's overrated, he's this, he's that. I don't want to hear it. I've been hearing that for years and years. And if you do think that, he's giving your football team the best chance to win. If you don't like the way that Tomlin is running things, either just chill with it, just go with it, go with the flow and cheer your team on. But he's not getting fired. The Roonies aren't doing it. It's not happening. I've been saying that for like 4 or 5 years. They're not going to fire Tomlin. If anything, they give him another extension. He's got 3 or 4 years here left. But this year in 2024, 6-2 Steelers, the way that he made that choice from Fields to Wilson, improved our offense, got our team better, getting guys back who are healthy. He's now on a run and a chance. If the Chiefs and Bills start to fail a little bit, or maybe even the Lions fail a bit, lose a game or two, that Mike Tomlin is now in big consideration to be coach of the year. And he definitely deserves at least that chance. He deserves that talking point to be thrown into the fire, into the mix and go, hang on, Lions are playing good. Bills are playing good. Chiefs are playing really good with Andy Reid. But have you thought about Mike Tomlin being coach of the year? Anyways, that's my thoughts on that. I'll see you guys in the next episode.